been contributing these last few days, and thanks also for all the feedback and support for all the videos that we've been putting up into your feeds. I hope you feel like it's been worthwhile, and thanks to everybody who's been following along. You know, when I first started this job back in 2019, one of the first big things I got to do, which I was very fortunate to get to do, was to travel to the far west of New South Wales, where back then we were still very much in drought. Just a few months earlier, there had been those terrible fish kills around the Menindee Lakes. And I wanted to see that for myself. I wanted to see firsthand what had been happening in that region and talk to some of the people in those communities. And to be honest, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Not sure how I would be received. I got there and I was treated with incredible kindness and enthusiasm for the entire time I travelled around that region. And it really sparked in me a desire to take a bigger role, for Nature Conservation Council to take a bigger role in some of the issues that relate to our rivers and wetlands, particularly in the Murray-Darling Basin. And so joining us now, I want to introduce you to Bev Smiles, some of you will know Bev very well. She's been an absolute stalwart of the conservation movement for decades now and does an extraordinary amount of work, almost entirely in a volunteer capacity, and is one of the great champions of rivers and wetlands here in New South Wales. Bev, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Chris.
Now, the thing that is different today to when I travelled along the Barker in 2019 is that there has been a lot of rain in the last sort of 6 months, and even the summer before last, we had a fair bit of rain, so the drought has well and truly broken. Where is the Murray-Darling Basin at right now? What are some of the big issues in the basin?
Well, we're currently seeing probably some of the best seasons for a very long time, but that's also part of the climate variability that we are now living with in inland New South Wales. So we're bouncing from extreme intense, unrecorded levels of drought to currently 3 back-to-back La Nina years, which is causing a lot of grief on the coast, but for inland areas, it's helping not to completely reset our rivers and wetland systems, but it's certainly helping them to recover from the last round of very intensive droughts. Some of the issues we have is the way our rivers are managed for environmental outcomes. As we know, water is the most important thing for life. We live on the driest continent on Earth, and we need to be a lot more careful with the way we expect to use our rivers and water for human benefits, because the ecosystems and nature of our rivers, our native fish populations, platypus, turtles, all those water-dependent animals, water birds that rely on our rivers being healthy, need a strong voice to protect them and the rivers that they rely on.
Now, you're the coordinator, the convener of the Inland Rivers Network, which is an extraordinary coalition of organisations that care about our rivers and wetlands, and NCC is very proud to be a part of that network. Can you tell us a little bit about IRN and the sort of things that you do?
Well, we've been around since the early 90s, which was when there was the world's largest blue-green algae bloom in the Barwon-Darling. And really the Barwon-Darling River's the canary in the Murray-Darling Basin that is demonstrating the problems that we've had with water use and water management over many years. So Inland Rivers Network has engaged closely with the Basin Plan, the Murray-Darling Basin Plan, and its implementation. We're very disheartened by the New South Wales government's lack of commitment to the Basin Plan, and we hope there will be a change in the future in that direction. We also work very closely with New South Wales government policy, water sharing plans, floodplain harvesting regulation, and and the regional water strategies that are currently being developed. We also network closely with people in regional inland New South Wales on campaigns such as the new very large dam proposals, raising the Wyangla Dam on the Lachlan River and the Dungowan Dam on the Peel River above Tamworth. And we've had one major win with the dam campaign, and that's the government deciding not to go ahead with the Mole River Dam in the Border Rivers region.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Bev. Thanks for joining us. Now, we're trying to raise money for the Nature Conservation Council through this telethon, but if folks want to make a donation to the IRN, what do they need to do?
Good question. We've got an IRN blog, so you can contact us through that and we'll give you the details.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us, Bev.
Thank you.